Hello Linux lovers, my name's Wimpy, welcome to my world. How you all doing? Had a couple of days off the streaming to catch up on some things. Good morning Paul, thanks very much for the welcome.
Even though it was that much.
Hey Big Pod, how you doing? Right then, let's get into this. Hey Seb, how you doing? So today we're going to be working on deb-get and Quickemu. There's been a ton of stuff happening in Quickemu, so we're going to go over that, look at some of the outstanding issues, hopefully pump out a couple of new versions. If you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, this was originally streamed live on twitch.tv/Wimpy's World. So if you want to join in with the rest of these fine people that are here right now, then head over to twitch.tv/Wimpy's World and give us a follow. Well, it's Friday, it's nearly the weekend, everyone. How you doing? Looks like everyone's good and well. I'm really pleased to see that Mandy's here. Thank you, Mandy, for that deb-get pull request that implements some testing capabilities. We will definitely be merging that today. So try and keep me honest, because this protecting the main branch is brand new information to me. So let's hope I get that right. So we're going to look at that and hopefully stick out a new release, and then that will be the last of Martin's dodgy releases of deb-get, because after that everything should be good and controlled. And then we'll be taking a look at Quickemu, because I finally got round to merging everything that people have been contributing to that. There's a few new bits and pieces, and I see Phil is with us this morning, and Phil has done a bunch of work on that. Thank you, Phil. You've effectively been the maintainer. I really appreciate all of your diligence on Quickemu. Made it easy for me to identify what work needed to be pulled together to go into that new release. Not that we've released it yet, but we'll get to that hopefully in a bit. And I thought I'd touch on ChimeraOS, because the last stream I did, I was finishing building that gaming console, that Linux-powered SteamOS console. And I used HoloISO when I set that up, but I'm not running HoloISO anymore. I'm running ChimeraOS. So I thought we'll have a little look at that, and I'll explain some of why I've switched over to Chimera and my initial experiences with using it. Hello Big Pod, how are you doing? You've got your ISP technician turning up. Okay, so hello, just in case, and goodbye, just in case you you have to suddenly leave us. And hello Takov, good morning, how you doing? Right then, oh, so Paul is approaching the end of 2 weeks of holiday time. Sucks to be you. Some of us have still got some vacation time to look forward to. Right then, let's head over here and we'll start with ChimeraOS. And just before the stream went live, I was about a minute late going live because I pressed the wrong button on my Steam Deck and reset all my windows. So I had everything set up ready to go, and then I went and blew it. So actually, let's just make sure I've got all of the essentials loaded. I think we have. Yep.
Thank you for the follow, Ridoni.
Hey Ridoni, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. So let's start, as we mean to go on. Let's have a quick look at ChimeraOS. So here it is. This is so way back when there was SteamOS 2, which was based on Debian. And this project existed back then and was effectively like a SteamOS 2 based on, it was either Ubuntu or Debian, I can't quite remember, and it was known as ChimeraOS. Anyway, it's evolved over time. It's now based on Arch, but in a interesting way, and it got rebranded to ChimeraOS. So this is what I'm running on my PC console at home, and I love this. I love this a lot. So things that I like about this are it doesn't have a desktop mode, which I actually quite like. So there is no real option to get in and fiddle about with it. You turn it on, you play some games, you turn it. In fact, it rather nicely shuts down. And I don't know if McPhail is with us, but McPhail was asking, well, can you power it on by picking up the controller? Not quite, but I'm thinking about adding that capability to ChimeraOS, because what it will do is it will power on from the keyboard. You know, if I just press any key on the keyboard and the machine has gone into a suspended state, it will awaken it. And I've done a bit of reading, and I think it should be possible to add the necessary capabilities to have it power on from controller input. So it's something I'm thinking about looking into. It's just a quality of life thing, but it was an interesting idea that McPhail had here. So I see Zeb has a question here. Let's have a little look here. Zeb says, using your gaming knowledge, I am light on gaming knowledge. Should I go for the 3080 Ti from a 2080 Ti? Will I notice a huge difference? It depends on the games, Zeb. What game, you know, if you're playing a game on a 2080 Ti and it can pump out more frames per second than your monitor can handle, is the upgrade necessary? Like, are you actually going to benefit from it? So I think you've got a 144 hertz screen. If your 2080 Ti can pump out 144 hertz or higher for the games that you play most, then it would be an unnecessary upgrade, I suppose. You've got a 240 hertz screen. Wow, okay, that's current technology. I'm well behind on screen technology. Mine are 100 hertz displays, and I've only had those for a few months. The one here and one like it at home, or similar to it at home anyway. You mainly play WoWs. What's WoWs? What's that? Oh, World of Warships. So how does it run? You know, ask yourself the question. You know, if it... I doubt anything's rendering at 240 frames a second. But I've got the 3080 Ti mostly because I wanted the compute and NVENC for the streaming stuff. Although I have now found a way to unlock the potential of streaming on AMD GPUs by not using FFmpeg and not using AMF. So there's a teaser for you. So gosh, there's so much stuff. So Seb is getting, it says here, Seb is getting 140 frames to 160 frames per second at 5120 by 1440. Okay, so I'm guessing you've got some sort of ultra wide display there, right? And I now have two ultra wides, although they're not that resolution. They're 3440 by 1440. Am I? No, 21 by 9. I don't think a 3080 Ti is going to get you close to 240 frames per second at that resolution. So given that new GPUs are coming out October time from AMD and Nvidia, you've got a really decent 2080 Ti there. I'd sit on that and wait and see what happens in a few months' time and see if that moves the needle in terms of what you are looking for. So yeah, I'd sit and wait. You're not like gasping for a new GPU or anything, so I'd wait on that. Yeah, well, the rumors are that they're coming October time, at the latest December. So let's see. I think Nvidia are panicking a bit because they've got a load of stock to clear of the current generation. Hence the deep discounts that we're seeing at the moment. But I wouldn't get sucked into that game. Don't get into FOMO. I think you've got a decent graphics card there. Just bide your time and wait. Yeah, so there we go. That's my advice for what it's worth. Yeah, I mean, I can't remember. I had a 2080 Ti. I've still got it. It's just on the shelf at the moment. And I went to the 3090, and the real reason is that there was no upgrade from a 2080 to the 3080 didn't perform that much better than the 2080 Ti. And it had less RAM. So, and that was the launch card. So really the only upgrade that was open to me at, you know, at release time for the 3000 series cards was to go from a 2080 Ti to a 3090, because that got me more video RAM and it got me a faster card. But that was, so, you know, the 3080 Ti is very close to the 3090 in my measurements. There's a couple of % in it for the things that I do on the 3090 and the 3080 Ti. They're very, very close in performance, but it's probably about 10 or 15% faster than the 2080 Ti that you've got. So, you know, it doesn't move the needle that much. So I'd wait. I'd wait. Hey Diogo, how you doing? Right then. So ChimeraOS. So reasons I like this. As you know, I like a bit of retro gaming. So this is not just a Steam front end. It can also support Epic and GOG, and it has like a mechanism for putting ROMs on for a whole bunch of retro console stuff. So this is great for me. It means my daughter and I can play the modern games, or I say modern, you know, the contemporary games that she wants to play, and I want to play in some respects. But then also it's got a mode of operation where I can just go in and play the some of the retro games that I want, all on the same box. So that was very attractive. It was something that I was really taken with. And although it's based on Arch, it has an atomic update process. So it doesn't do updates through package managers. They basically spin a new image of the OS about once a month or so. They're just in the process of releasing a new image. And the update mechanism is to download that whole image of the OS, which is read-only, and then do an atomic update of that image and then boot into it. So there's no did a package upgrade work or not. It just is like a bit like updating Chrome OS. So I like that approach very much. And also, as I say, this project started out back in the SteamOS 2 days, so there's a lot of experience in the team of actually putting out an image like this. You can enable what's called Gamepad Ui, which most people will know as like the Steam Deck UI, which is how I'm running it, and it's absolutely fabulous. I love it. It's terrific. So we get the modern Steam experience, you get the atomic updates, you get retro gaming. There's just a lot to like about it, and it turns out the community are really friendly and welcoming as well. You can also check the status of games here. These are games that are verified by this community, as opposed to just what's verified through ProtonDB and Steam Deck now. So you'll find games in here that are verified on Chimera, because this ships like a little helper that when you install a game, it will make all the necessary tweaks and tuning in order to make it run well. So for example, if you look in Steam, it will say that Tekken 7 is unsupported, but here it's a verified game, and I have installed it and I am loving playing that quite a lot. So here it is, Tekken 7 is verified here, but if you go and look in Steam itself, it says unsupported. So there is a lot to like. Now, I liked it so much I thought I wanted to get involved. So if we just go and have a look at their GitHub project, I think it's ChimeraOS. I've made 2 contributions, one really small. So the first pull request that I have here is this one, which is very simply adding oh, I've actually got a typo in there. Let's go and edit that whilst I'm here. Let's also do this, because that is a command. So this is adding a package to their package manifest to complement my other pull request, which is this one here. So I worked on this a couple of nights ago, and I won't read this word for word. I'll tell you what it does. If you've ever used Steam and you go to help and system information, it produces you this sort of output of all the characteristics of your system, your OS and your hardware, and you can submit that to two places. One, to Valve if you've got a support request. It's also what like the hardware survey uses, but it's also the same information that you submit to ProtonDB in order to create hardware profiles when you're submitting your reports about how good quality the support for a game is, or bad it might be. Let's see. I'm not logged in this browser. I wonder if... I think... let's just try this. User not found. Okay, then never mind. But anyway, if you're doing your business here, there's a place where you can paste in that output. So what this adds here is 100% compatible with the Steam system information output in their system info utility. So if I just hop over here, I can show you what that looks like. So let's go to Chimera, and although I'm running this on Ubuntu. Hello, good morning, Yannick. How are you doing? So although I'm running this on Ubuntu, I can run it here as well, and here it is. So what you'll see here is this is identical to what you'd see in the Steam information. So what this means is, although at the moment you would run this by SSHing into ChimeraOS, I've written this in such a way that it could be embedded into the Chimera web app. So they have this web app that you can connect to over your phone to control the console and also add ROMs to the emulators or install games from GOG and what have you. And I'm thinking that we could now add, once this gets merged, we could add a menu item in their web app UI that exposes this. So as a ChimeraOS user, you have an easy way to get to this data, to paste it into Proton in order to add your devices to the database. So that's my first contribution, and I've been chatting to the dev team in their Discord, and they're very friendly, and I'm identifying some other areas where I might want to give them a hand, because I've got some prior experience that might be beneficial. You know, having recently done a load of work on Retro Home, there's some talk about moving Chimera to Pipewire, and they've bumped into some issues with that. And of course I did that with Retro Home with good success, and I've also done it in Ubuntu Mate for the 22.10 release, and it's worked out really well. So I'm thinking, well, once that knowledge is in my head, maybe that's something I could help with as well. And there's a couple of other things. Takov, I see, makes an interesting observation up here. So Takov has been testing Steam Link on the Raspberry Pi 4 and says they were disappointed with the quality. Well, that's something we'll get to working on for sure in Retro Home. I am going to get back to Retro Home. Obviously today we're going to more deb-get, because those community contributions just keep on raining down, and Quickemu was overdue, you know, a good look at, and I'm much happier about where that is now. But maybe next week we might get back to Retro Home. I'll have to give it some thought over the weekend, what to turn my attention to next week. Right then, so that's Chimera. If you are interested in building, you know, a box just for playing games on, I wholeheartedly recommend Chimera. It's terrific. The performance that I've seen, I mean, it's that machine I built, you'll know, was fairly decent. It's got a 4750G CPU/APU. and it's got a 5700 XT Radeon graphics card. And I've been able to run everything ultra wide at sort of somewhere between medium to ultra settings, depending on the vintage of the game. And last night I realized I hadn't enabled resizable bar, or what AMD have rebranded as smart access memory. And when I did that, some of the games, the performance uplift was considerable. Like the Tomb Raider games went from a configuration where I'd got them running at ultra wide at a sort of 60 frames ish. They went up to 75-80 frames per second. So looking at some of the other experiences of users with Radeon GPUs and AMD CPUs, it seems that resizable bar in almost every case corresponds to a significant uplift in performance, so I'm very happy with that. Hello King Egypt, how you doing? Welcome back. And hello Lord Enar, I think is how we're pronouncing that. So they've got a Linux related question. Let's take a look. So yes, you can ask Linux questions. You're among friends here. We're mostly Linux nerds. When it comes to audio on Linux, what's everyone's preference, Pulse or Pipewire? At the moment, I'm transitioning all of my projects to using Pipewire. So, yeah, and the only reason that I'm holding back on like my main workstations here and at home is because I stream and I have quite a complicated multi-audio source setup, which is heavily dependent on Pulse. But OBS 28, which is due any time now, very soon, has native support for Pipewire. So if you're just using it for desktop stuff, you know, relatively uncomplicated, Pipewire is in a really good place, and I've been very happy with the results of using Pipewire. And I'm going to be pushing forward with that everywhere. So, Mandy's asking, has anyone ever used GitHub code spaces? Not seriously. I've dabbled, but it is impressive. Yeah. So yeah, I something I want to work on these streams is actually sort of leveling up my GitHub use. You know, for example, we're going to look at the work you've done, Mandy, on that PR to add all the testing fabric to deb-get. I want to overhaul all of my projects with I know this is trivial stuff, but issue templates, actions for CI/CD, testing, integration, readmes that don't suck, that, you know, are helpful, informative, and help push people in the right direction. Setting up code spaces so that, you know, we've got on-demand dev environments that are project specific, all of that stuff. I'd like to go through it all and get all of that done. So, you know, that's something I definitely want to look at on these streams. Some of that I've only got a very light touch understanding of what's actually available from GitHub. I know there's so much that it can do, and I really feel like I need to be exploiting that and making use of all of that compute capability there rather than doing it myself. So apparently Mandy did a presentation at work on development environments in containers. So I have used Gitpod quite a bit to do this, which you can obviously do locally, and I also help them with a project that kind of implements a GitHub workspaces sort of workflow. I haven't done enough. I know Big Pod's in here, and I know he's shifted everything to a container-based development workflow. Definitely where I want to go as well. So yeah, Mandy, absolutely. Any help, guidance, mentoring you can offer on those topics, I would absolutely love that. Your experience and insight would be more than welcome. So yeah, totally. you're in Discord, so I know where to find you. I'll get in touch, but I'd like to learn with everyone here as well, because I know there are a number of people here in the chat that are far more experienced with some of the CI/CD and container-based workflows that exist. So I'm more than happy to sort of have some backseat drivers to help me find the happy path in implementing all of that and getting it all up and running. Yeah, LexD and Lexi are great solutions as well. I'm increasingly trying to move everything off my machine. Like, I want reproducible things everywhere. So yeah. So, where should we go next? I think what we'll do is we'll dive into deb-get, as we were just talking about that, and Mandy is here and has contributed. So this is actually like my first step into what we were just discussing. So, final shout out, ChimeraOS, if you want to do some gaming stuff, totally worth a look. Also, awesome logo. Right then, let's go here. So let's start with deb-get. So there's a few things to merge. We went through this. So first, one of the things we're going to fix today is these notifications have started showing up in GitHub about protecting your branch and implementing best practice workflows, which is a good thing. And of course, every time I do a live stream now, it embarrasses me that I'm not doing this. So thanks to Mandy, we'll try and get that issue resolved. So we have merged a whole bunch of stuff here, and I've fixed a couple of issues. So let's look and see what's going on here. 0.3. So yeah, this isn't helpful when people keep raising the same issues rather than finding. Yeah, thank you, Mandy. We'll just close that one. Thank you for your due diligence. Right then, this looks interesting. Please make it available for... so I think that is going to work in the next release. Yeah. Yeah, I think that this is going to be... Yeah, I think it's going to be fixed. So actually, what we'll do is we will close issue 399 as we release the new version, because that will fix that. And FreeTube, wow, that's a name I haven't heard in a while. Is this actually actively supported? Let's have a little look. GitHub. How's this doing for... So, they have... Yep, it looks like it's still getting frequent updates. When was the last release? So that's a pre-release. That's a pre-release. That's a pre-release. Ah, okay, so this is going to be disqualified on the grounds that we're only accepting things that are labeled stable, and they have never released a stable version. And in fact, I think we may have seen FreeTube in here, but we have, haven't we? There we go. We've turned this down before. There we go. So this is actually a duplicate of 108.
Thank you for the follow, Lord_Einar.
Hey, Lord Einar, thank you. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. So let's just get on the right virtual screen. We'll come over here and we're going to close that as a dupe of 108. So they haven't checked. Previously declined. This isn't nightly. It's the release version. deb-get. Oh, the version number isn't an indicator of the... Okay, so if we go to download, what does it give us? Windows, Fedora, other distributions, deb. Yeah. It's a beta. Yeah, it's a beta. I'm just going to close this as a duplicate. My original issue is that.
Thank you for the follow Linux tips.
Hey Linux tips, thanks very much. Right then, so that one we've dealt with. I don't know, so there are a bunch of issues. You can't fix everything all the time. You have to sort of decide when things have got to a decent point. So that was just catching up. So this one we'll actually label as a bug because the intention is that stuff should work. And it will do after this next release. Because one of the things we've fixed is a couple of weeks ago we were adding support for Debian to sit alongside the Ubuntu support, but that initial transition was a little bit rocky, and we've now straightened out some of that stuff. So Noob of Linux asks the question that with the changes that we're about to make, if I can't see your, here we go. So asks when we make these changes that we'll have to have a fork request every time we make a change. Yes, and that would be no change for the contributors because all contributors have to do that. It does also represent a change for me. It means that I will no longer just be able to push to the main branch at will. I'll have to create branches and pull requests. That's no bad thing. So, you know, for contributors, they always have to fork. Nobody's able to push directly to the main branch. Okay, and Takov has got some information here on Pipewire. Yeah, Takov's talking about using a graphical tool to sort of, you know, do virtual wiring between audio sources. I don't need anything as complex as that. Basically, the music that you can hear being played out is being played out in a virtual, what's called a sync in Pulse Audio. And I have a couple of these virtual syncs to enable me to mix the levels independently of one another. So it's not mega sophisticated. And I haven't actually looked yet how I do that in Pipewire, but I'm sure it's all possible. After all, at the end of the day, what sits beneath Pipewire is Jack and Pulse, effectively. So it's all the same stuff somewhere along the lines. Right, let's have a look at some of the other pull requests because case sensitivity is causing an issue. Ooh, okay. A missing public key error. Oh, right, there's a whole bunch of new pull requests. Good lord. There are so many of them. Oh gosh, okay. There are so many. I think what we'll do is we're going to start here with Mandy's request because this is where I want to focus our attention. So, Mandy, you can correct me in chat as I get this wrong. So the idea here is that Mandy's made a bunch of changes to add some additional exit status codes when error conditions are encountered, and then created some GitHub actions to run a battery of tests against new pull requests to ensure everything is still working. And had we had a mechanism like this in place a few weeks ago, that whole transition to Debian would probably have gone a lot smoother because it would have flagged the breakages much sooner. Hey, Aduzia, how you doing? So let's just take a look at what's changed here. So we have some GitHub workflows here, tests.yaml to run on Ubuntu latest, which seems reasonable given that principally this project was aimed at Ubuntu users, but happens to have the side benefit of running on Debian now. And then running through a bunch of test cases in different examples to actually, interesting, this is a good idea. couple of packages to see if they still install. So actually we could try and pick a selection of things that are like something that installs from GitHub releases, something that installs from a web page, something that installs from a PPA, and so on and so on. So we sort of get some execution coverage. But let's think, that's a PPA. I think 1Password's a website. I think Bitwarden is GitHub releases, and this is a PPA as well. So, okay. And then in order to support this test case, there are some additional exit statuses being set here. Okay, you're using let. Okay, I may change the way the variables are defined, but that's fine. I've never used let in Bash. It's curious, isn't it? It's interesting. Bash is one of those languages that's grown like, well, languages. I suppose it is a language of sorts. It's grown like Topsy, and there's multiple ways of achieving the same outcomes, which is a bit messy at times. Okay, cool. Right, so this is Mandy's PR. So I think what we'll need to do is, once we've merged this, I think Mandy gave me some advice here. So it might be interesting to look at this in one of the streams, which we are now doing. For example, adding branch protection, which prevents merging to main when the test's workflow doesn't successfully, doesn't run successfully. So we'll merge this. Should I squash this? I think I'm going to squash this one. So we'll squash and merge this. Good morning, RW Grim. Welcome, welcome. Oh, hey, it's a raid. Holy smoke. Hello, everyone. Hello. So, RW Grim, how was your stream? What were you up to this morning? Welcome. Welcome, raiders. If you type exclamation mark sup, it will tell you what we're up to today. Right now, we're looking at one of my projects, deb-get, which is extension to install packages from outside of the Debian and Ubuntu repos. Hello, good morning. Thank you very much for all of the follows. Welcome. Welcome all of you. Excellent. RW Grim, you're working on Pigeon. Are you the main Pigeon dev by any chance? I am very interested to know the answer to that question. So, how did it go? 8.5 hours. Wow, that's some. Hey, well, welcome. Thank you very much for stopping by. I tell you what, your ears were burning this morning. I was talking about you with my good friend Joe Resington. So, expect an email from Joe. Thank you very much for stopping by. So, 8.5 hours. Wow, that's some stream, man. I don't think I've got the stamina for that. I start to flag after about 2.5. Wonderful, thank you. Well, welcome. You're all of you are among friends. We're a whole bunch of Linux nerds and enthusiasts here, working on something different. This is sort of package manager extensions that we're working on today. Yeah, okay, excellent. I'm glad Joe's been in touch, so you know what that's all about. We'll leave it there. We'll leave it there for now. But yes, I'm very excited about this opportunity, and I hope that all works out for all of us. So, thanks to Mandy, we've now got that. So let's go back here and let's see if we can fix this. So Mandy, this is where I hope that we'll get this right. So we're going to try and put some appropriate controls in place so that it's not Cowboy Town on this repository anymore. Yeah, excellent. Excellent, Grim. I am very happy. Thanks for stopping by. That was serendipitous. That's fantastic that you and your community have popped in here today. Thank you all very much for stopping by. Right then. So, require a pull request before merging. Yes, I think we're going to tick that box. Require approvals. Well, yes, we should have one approval. Dismiss stale pull request approvals when new commits are pushed. Oh gosh, there's going to be a whole bunch of options here. Require a review from code owners. Restrict who can dismiss. I want to find the one that says require status checks to pass. Require branches to be up to date. I can't necessarily do that because deb-get, we quite often have to deal with merge conflicts because of the rate of change. Check. Is that the one I should have been ticking, Mandy, or is it something else? Right, in fact, I suggest my community head over to RW Grimm's channel and give them a follow. In fact, I am going to do this very thing in a browser off to the side now so I don't forget. So we are going, I will put this link in the chat, just a sec. Let's just hit, that's muted, good. Right, we're going here. So don't all disappear, but go there and give that channel a follow. Wow, 6k followers, good job. Congrats. Right, I didn't know you were streaming here. I'm delighted to find out you are. So, there we go. I've done that thing. Okay, so require status checks is the one. Okay, and you need to search for the check. So I should then type in here tests. Is that what I should do? No. Oh, confirm password. Very good. Oh gosh, what's happening here? Let's just get that off the screen so I can see what's going on. That isn't what I was expecting to see. Let's just get rid of some of this. Hey Josh, how you doing? Hey, thanks for stopping by, Josh. Welcome to the stream. This is Josh Strobel from, what are you working on these days? Is it Serpent OS? Is that what you're contributing to these days? How's it going? How's it going over there in Serpent OS land buddies of Budgie? Let's get back into the settings there. Yeah, I'm coming back here now. Let's have a look. So, where are these protections stored? Where did that go? I've lost my spot here. Oh, it was this. Edit branch protection rules. Here we go. So branch protection. So let's just have a look down the list here. Allow force pushes to all users with push access. I wonder if that means to your branches or to main. I don't want people force pushing to main. Restrict who can push to matching branches. Include enforce all configured. I'm not going to tick that box just yet. Hey, I am Jones. Good morning. How are you? Require linear history. Require signed commits. I mean, you could go to town on this, couldn't you? Hey, Tommy. How are you? How are you doing? Are you having a better Friday than last Friday? So, I'm sure this is where I need to be, but I don't... Oops. Ah, here we go. Oh, this is the right thing. This did find the right thing. There it is. Haha, there we go. That's what we were looking for, wasn't it? That's what we were looking for. Perfect. Okay, so this is now, I think, the bare minimum, right? What? Go away. Why won't that disappear? That's annoying. Right then, I think we'll hit save changes there. I think that's the bare minimum of what we need. we can probably get into, at some point I need to get into these GitHub Actions and actually set up all of this stuff. So, so I am Jones. Just got up because they're on holiday. That sounds agreeable. Phil says, okay, Phil says here that apparently the new tests are passing. So I'm going to go and open this link like so up here and see what that looks like. There we go. Nice one. Okay. So any source means that it checks for Circle CI or something like that. Okay, that's cool. Okay. So I think, Mandy, I've done the absolute minimum to make that work. And I think what I'll do is follow up with you in Discord. You can find Discord here, by the way. And like get some nuance to that setup. So and Tommy is asking me, have I seen Matthew Krogan's talk to use Flake Nicks and not Docker files? I have not, but I am familiar with this technology. It is definitely growing in popularity in the circles I move in at work. Yes, I am aware. One of the reasons why I know I haven't got there yet, but why I want to invest more time in getting up to speed with Nix. So thank you, Mandy. I will. But hopefully we've got enough of that pull request in place now, and enough of the GitHub stuff in place. Aha! And are we actually seeing things running against this now? So add RetroArch and LBRY. Oh, I might turn that one down just because. So here's some implementing. Oh my gosh, what a lot of commits. I think we might have to request that those get squished. Whoa, hello. Take off. This is the Chelsea cucumber. This is obviously homage to Ubuntu Mate and the glorious green accent colours that we have, which are, that green in Ubuntu Mate is known as Chelsea cucumber. Oh dear, no, we're not accepting this. That's that undoes a whole bunch of stuff. So I fear that all of these are going to be similar. Yeah, okay. So all of those I'm going to have to go back and comment on. Let's look at the last one that they've prepared. Yeah, okay. So I will have to ask them to rebase and squash those ones. Oh, it doesn't add the contributor to the contributors list. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's interesting. That's interesting. I did not know it did that. Bother. So does that look like I'm the contributor? That's a shame. That is not what I was hoping for. Okay. So all of those ones are going to need work. We'll then look at this here, correct typo. So let's have a little look at what Phil's been working on here. Hang on a minute, this has got a whole bunch of changes as well. Why is that? Why am I seeing this change in every commit? Why is that? Hey Henrik, how are you? Oh man, today I learned. So that's interesting. I'm gonna have to be more vigilant about that. So yeah, it goes off the authors, and you're the author of the squash commit. Bother. I do that to keep the commit history tidy, but okay, I'll be mindful of that in the future. Okay, thank you, Mindy, Mandy, and thank you, Henrik. Yeah. I mean, I do when I like that. pull request that I was talking about to Chimera, I had several comments for, you know, changes, and I made those changes and then squashed those commits in Git Kraken and then force push those changes to my branch. So in the GitHub issue history, you can see the diffs between each of those force commits, but there will only be a single commit that adds the new feature. I'm very curious why we're seeing this here. Why are we seeing this change? Is that because this was tabbed and it's being changed to 4 spaces? I'm just a bit curious why adding VirtualBox has changed a bunch of formatting. So I'm curious about that. And we saw that in that other commit as well. So let's have a look here. So this is in... Ooh, this looks like it could be interesting.
Thank you for the follow, Camelorgit.
Hello, Camilord. Welcome to the stream. Okay, add Nala. This is... Yeah, so it says review required. This is cool. So this is as a result of what we're looking at now, and the changes that we've made. Fix missing public key error. Okay, let's see what this is. Nice, that is a legitimate. That's a legitimate fix. Good catch, whoever that was. Thank you. Nice one. Thanks. We'll get that one merged. Hang on a minute. So I need tests expected, waiting for status to be reported. So what are we looking at here? Why merging is blocked, waiting 1 approval. So tests waiting for status to be reported. How can I view the status of the tests? I ran cog on the readme. Okay. Yeah, Big Pod. I use Tailscale. I think it's terrific. So yeah. Let's have a look here. So oh, that disappeared. That wasn't what I wanted to do. I intended to show that one. Oh man. So one of you was just saying about the chat coins. Yes, I've lost these messages. Damn it. Too much activity. Thank you. And then Bill says they ran the cog on the readme. So yes, this is the cogifying stuff. We need to do more with that, I think. I think we could get creative with that. The thing is to fork the GitHub Actions. The thing is in the fork. Let's have a look at this message. The thing is in the fork. GitHub Actions need to be enabled, I think. Okay, so you think I need to change my settings in the let's go and take a look at that. Right, bunch of questions. I'll get back to Tailscale in a little bit, Big Pod. Let's see if we can get this resolved, because what we want to do is have all of this new stuff swimming along nicely. So if we look up branches, I think this is where we need to be. And what was it you were just saying, Mandy? I think the settings of the repo, you can allow forks to run the GitHub Actions. Okay, so let's have a look here. Restrict who can dismiss, allow specify actors, no, no. Require branches to be up to date before merging. Require, allow. Okay, that's not, I'm not seeing the allow people to. Is it therefore on in the actions tab? Okay. General. Allow all actions. Okay. Artifact require approval for all first-time contributors who are new to GitHub. I think we'll do that. That seems a more sensible option. And require read and write, allow GitHub actions and to create and approve pull requests. I'm not seeing an appropriate option here. What am I missing? Mandy? No, we don't have runners. So allow all actions and reusable. Allow Wimpy's world actions. Any action. Huh. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be enabling here. Artifact and log retention, okay. Read and write permissions, fine. To create and approve. I don't see anything that should be enabled there, so Mandy's advice was the settings, you can allow forks to run GitHub actions and tests. So is it one of these options here? Action permissions. I'm not sure, but it might be that the fork owner needs to enable actions in their fork. Oh, okay. So does that mean that I'm unable to merge this stuff now? Yannick's clickbaity headline for the stream may well be accurate. So let's take a look back here. We definitely know we want to merge this. Merging is blocked. Well, I'm going to add my review because it's correct. So I shall approve this. And then we'll come back here and no, merge without waiting for, okay, well I can merge without this, but we'll do rebase and merge given what I've just learned, and there was a single commit there. Oh no, that isn't what I wanted to do. Reopen. Let's try that again, shall we? Merge, choose the rebase, and then click the button. There we go. Confirm the rebase and merge. There we go. Done. Okay, so I can work around that constraint, although I was a little confused why it wasn't running, but okay. And what's this? Case sensitivity issues. Okay, interesting. Let's have a little look at this PR. Why would they capitalize jammy? I think we should do this a different way. No. This is not how to do that. Okay, I think the best thing to do is when we capture the upstream code name here, we do this. Lowercase code name using.
Thank you for the follow, Slack in Time.
Hello, Slack in Time. Welcome to the stream. So what was this upstream code name? Comma, I think, is the force everything to lowercase. Rejects everything. There we go. So that we'll use as our starter review, and we'll finish the review here and say request changes, because that would be a better way to do it. So, hello, Slack in Time, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Hadn't tests been run already? Said they should be completed. Yeah, I wasn't sure. So now if we look at Phil's VirtualBox thing here, I need to do a review. It's run the group expected, waiting for status to be reported. So is this going to happen only after I review the changes? Is that how this is going to work? As I said, brand new territory for me, although I'm very confused about this. So Phil, actually I'm not going to merge this at the moment because I'm very confused why it is we're seeing this white space change. I'm not saying this is an issue that you're introducing here. It could well be due to some other changes that were made to that doc. So I think we need to take a look at that, and all this. Yeah, we need to ask Musical Coder to rebase and squash all of their commits. So I'm not going to merge any of these things, and that one we've just asked for changes. So I think we've got everything. So let's have a look. Yeah, I think maybe it is waiting for the tests to complete because we turn them on, but I don't see tests completing for any of these things, you know. You know, I get no impression that that is going to do anything. Anyway, I will learn more. I will learn more. Click the details. It doesn't look like a thing I can. So that's just for the greetings, not for the tests. Tests expected, waiting for status to be reported. So yeah, we will press on that. But I think the position I'm in now is that we've merged a couple of bits that I knew needed to be done. We've taken a look at some of this. We're going to close 399 in just a minute. So I think what we'll do is we'll head over here and let's just do that. We'll get all of this sorted now. So let's, in fact, let's head into Gitkraken, in fact, and let's get in the right project. So we've got a few bits there that we need to pull down. So let's pull those couple of bits in. That's good. And now let's pump out a new release. So did I move the version to the very top? I did, because I got bored of having to go hunting for it. So we will rev that there. We will go to our terminal. Let's see, we're going to be in development. Deb-get, in fact, that's where we want to be. And we will run our deb build script to generate a new package based on that version. So if we head back to Gitkraken, we should have a bunch of subtle changes now to say let's test this. I'm curious to see what happens. So we will stage that change there and stage that change there, and we will say bump version to 0.3.4. The keen-eyed among you will see I'm about to try and break some of the rules that we've just put in place because I'm curious to see what happens. Can I push directly? I can. Okay. All right then. That's fair. Well, I'm going to stop trying to do that though. Apart from anything, it helps achievement hunting. Right. So that's that pushed up. And so what we'll do now is head to the project. and we'll release a new... Oh, actually, no, we won't. We need to come back to Gitkraken. This is another reason why I like this. We can simply... He says simply if I can find the flipping option. Where is it? Edit the commit message. There it is. Closes 3.99. Update message. There we go. So we'll push that again. And I am going to force push it because I'm a bad boy. Right then. Ooh! Thank you for the follow.
I am not great at chess.
Oh, you're not great at chess. How unfortunate. Are you great at drafts? Welcome. Yeah, force push failed. Of course it did. Okay. Let's just reset head to here.
Thank you for the follow, Zaphoidex.
Well, Zaphoid, thank you very much. I assume your surname is Beeblebrox. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for that. We just hit our follower goal. Well done, everyone. Thank you very much. So we'll whilst we're here, we'll reset this. Why not? Let's do this thing. So let's end that one. Let's click that button there. What's it going to suggest? That one. Okay. Wow, that seems a bit ambitious, but all right then. Let's do this thing. There we go. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you all. Right, okay, let's reset this. I'm not going to force push that trivial change here. We will reset main to this branch and do a hard reset. There we go. We'll close, oops, we'll close that other issue by hand. So let's go back here. Issue a new release. So so I'm not great at chess. Says, is Quickemu like Qemu? It uses Qemu. It's like a convenience wrapper to Qemu, and it's what we're going to be looking at next. Once this release goes out for deb-get, we're going to switch over to Quickemu and take a look at all of the new stuff that's been happening there, and I'll give you a quick show and tell about how it works, and you'll see what it is. But yeah, it's like a really easy way to stand up virtual machines. Not just stand them up, but automatically configure them and download the ISOs and stuff like that. So it supports Windows and Mac OS and a whole load of Linux and BSD. And I even saw somebody working on Solaris support, which would be cool. So, oh, at least here, look, it knows you were responsible for this, Mandy. Well, that's good. Okay, so here's the new release. We'll drop in the new deb 0.34. Here it is. And we will publish that release. Why is Phil redeemed? No. Oh, cog-r readme. Oh, sorry, Phil. I'll do it after the fact. Sorry. Sorry. Should I have done that for the release? Does that generate a new readme? Can I do it now? Let's head over to... You want me to run this here, I assume, right? I don't think I have cog installed, actually. I don't. Apt show cog. Is that the right cog? No, that's not the right cog. I think it's just available via pip. I'm not going to get into that now. That's the diffs in the usage section. Okay, I will get to that. I will follow up with you in Discord after this, Phil. Sorry. So that release is out, and we will reference this commit here. View the commit. I didn't mean to view it. I just wanted to copy it. There we go. We'll go to this issue and we'll say there we go. Right then. Someone needs to create pip-get. You don't need a pip-get. There's just pip, right? but Mandy is working on bin-get. So in the README, down at the bottom, there is this related projects section, and in here you will find bin-get, which is
Thank you for the follow, Rolingo.
hey Rolingo, how you doing? Which is inspired by deb-get and aims to peek inside GitHub releases pages to get like binary releases, tarball releases, or just compiled binaries of Go and Rust projects and stuff like that. So this is looking very interesting, and you switched
Thank you for the follow, Banantanop.
What am I looking at? Antonop. What is that supposed to be? Such interesting usernames. So Mandy's been working on this, and you moved it to a different language recently, didn't you? I think this was the original shell, but you're currently in the process of moving it to, is it TypeScript? Looks like TypeScript. I thought it was something else, but is it something else that sits on top of TypeScript? I can't recall. Does it say down here? Oh, here we go. Dino TypeScript. There we go. There we go. Okay. Thanks, mods. Right. Okay. For contributors, pip install. Is this in our docs, Phil? Am I just falling behind the times of how to do all of this? Does that exist in here? How to install things to contribute. If not, we should probably document that. Yeah, okay, so you're saying that let's have a look here. I've got an interesting comment here. Let me take a little look. So Thantanop says, we spoke on Discord today about an issue with Ubuntu Mate and some packages that can be updated. Hello and welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Right then. Yeah, bin-get, I mean, you know, there's all of this software out there, and one of the unexpected side benefits of working on deb-get, and I'm sure Mandy's going to discover the same working on bin-get, is, look, we've got this list of software that's supported. A whole masses of this, I didn't even know these packages existed, and some of them have become instant favorites. So apart from anything, it's a useful discovery tool to find interesting, really good software that's out there for the Linux desktop that, you know, I didn't. I mean, this system monitoring center I absolutely love. Wait, let's bring it up. It's up here. Here we go. Oops. Has that appeared on the right screen? Yes. So this is what it looks like here. You can see, and at a glance, you know, it's got the RAM and disk and all the rest of it, but you can dig into, you know, graphs and charts for everything, including GPUs, and, you know, just, this is fantastic. I absolutely love this. I use this for all sorts of little poking around when I'm messing around with stuff. When I was doing my new build, I was using that to check, you know, everything was working properly. So yeah, yeah, it's all good stuff. So King Egypt asks, have you talked to the Packstall team? Their deb and PPA side could really benefit from deb-get. I haven't spoken to any other teams working on similar stuff. I'm aware similar things are out there, but I've not been in touch. No. Possibly. I mean, I've got some ideas about where to go next with this. So Phil really wants me to do these things. So, yes. So Yannick is also. Yannick, can I explain what you're referring to here? So I'm just going to assume it's going to be fine. So Yannick is working on a graphical front end for deb-get called Deborah. So if you've used Quickemu and you've seen Quickemu, which is also from Yannick, Quickemu is the graphical front end for Quickemu. So let's just go and look at Quickemu now. And Yannick is doing a similar thing where he's making a beautiful graphical front end for Quickget. So this is Quickemu. We're going to be working on this next, and this is Yannick's project, Quickemu. And I think there's a screenshot. So here we go. It's a Flutter UI, and this is sits on top of Quickemu to make it easy to get and run your virtual machines. So I think what we'll do is we'll switch over to this. Phil, let me know in Discord what it is I need to do, and I promise after this stream I will get in there and do the necessary things. And if I need to do a point release as a result, I'll do it. So let's get into Quickemu, because I hadn't done much work on this for several months, and boy howdy was there a bunch of improvements. So if we just look through the recent commits, you'll see here some point over the weekend, I think this was, there was a whole slew. This was me merging a massive backlog of changes to update distro support, and in one case add a whole bunch of new features and capabilities to Quickemu, which in itself is worth pointing out, I think. So I must have missed it, because let's go back and find it, because it was this was the commit. Yeah, that it was. In fact, we'll look at the closed pull requests, because then we can see it all as one thing. Closed. So I was aware that that change had been contributed, and I really wanted to get it added. Add some features. Here it is. So this adds a whole bunch of stuff. Not least, you can now access the QEMU monitor. That's not a screen or a display. That's like a thing that you can poke commands at in order to query and monitor the hypervisor, and do things like suspend and shut down VMs by poking commands at it. So some people have said they want to be able to run headless, but because it's headless they want a means to actually control the VM, like issue shutdowns, without having to log into it. And with this change, that's all now possible. So there was a whole bunch of stuff in here, and it was just fantastic. So we got that merged, and then I went through. Phil had created a tracking branch with all of these other OS and distro changes, and was basically green lighting a whole bunch of stuff. So I went through and got everything merged in, and as a result we're in a much better place. So I see there's a few changes. So Phil, I am going to assume that I should just merge this stuff, right? So I am going to, oh, it says it's conflicting. How is that already got conflicts? Is this based on what I've just done? Oh, well, that's fine. So there's basically some white space that needs cleaning up. Okay. Is that the only difference? That looks like it is. Let's go and do that then. Let's go and resolve that, because if it's just white space, that's fine. So let's get rid of that. Oh, there's 3 conflicts. Where's the next one then? Oh. I'm actually not going to do this. So I think, Phil, you're just going to need to review what's changed there. Sorry. If you can it looks like you've rebased it really recently as well, though. So, but if you can rebase and push that one, we'll get that one merged in, and then new draft release docs cogged. So this also says. So let's just see what the conflicts are. It's the same ones. So what have I merged recently then? That's done. Let me go and have a look. I wasn't aware that I pushed anything significant recently. Yeah, so that's the only thing I've pushed is a white space cleanup. So I'm going to ask you, Phil, if you can rebase and push those changes. But I think what I'm going to do is push forward with a new release of this because it's long overdue. But before we do, I have a question, and as there are so many of you here, let's look at an issue which has been back to haunt us several times and is back again, and we're kind of powerless to some extent, and it's this. So Windows 11 requiring organizational logins, which in of itself isn't the issue. The issue is we have automatically, when you set up a Windows VM, we create an unattended file to automate as much of that install as possible. And one of the things we did there was turn off all of the authenticate with a Microsoft account, just use local accounts only. And Microsoft are changing their policies there to sort of make it much harder to install Windows with a local only account, and I've been trying to preserve that capability for these VMs. I think we've hit the wall where we've really only got two options open to us. One is a real heavy-handed approach, which we have used briefly in the past, which is while the install is running to disable all networking in the VM, so it can't reach out and force you to do an online login because there is no network available. So that's like the brute force option. So that's option one. Option two is I think we can expand the automated unattended install to actually create a local account automatically. So instead of presenting you with a UI, it could, for example, automatically create an account called Quickemu with a known password, and then entirely automate that user. I haven't tested this, but I think that would entirely automate the user creation process. So it would entirely automate the whole install. Everyone would get a fixed account, and if you do want to create your own accounts or add your own online accounts after the fact, then you can do that. So for those of you who are here, which of those two options sound more palatable to you? Turning off the network entirely during the install phase, which isn't a great user experience because it does mess some other things up, or embed and document a sort of a fixed user account that gets created automatically, and then leave it up to the user to create additional online accounts or add online accounts or make their own local accounts after the fact. So let's have no network, type in chat, no network or create account as the options, and let's just get sort of a straw poll of what people think is a more agreeable approach to doing this. So Yannick says embed a fixed user. I do think that's where I'm leaning. Like I say, I haven't tested this, but I think it should work. So Cypheric says the fixed user account, yeah, and then you can use it as a fail-safe. Yeah, that's also true. That's a good point. Josh says embed the user. Okay, fixed user, noob of Linux. Big Pod says neither have the same policy for the OS is set up yourself. I'm not sure. We can add those registry edits automatically to work around this. I've added every conceivable option. So if you go and look, everything, and this was working. So up until very recently, the changes that we make in the automated unattended install did correctly do everything except for the create your user account, and it would create a local account, and it was working. But the thing is that the Microsoft installer updates online. Something's changed. I knew this change was coming. It's been well commented on, you know, on the internet. But yeah. So do you mean create a new fixed user per install? Yes. So each time you create a VM, a new VM of Windows, be it Windows 10 or 11, wow, then it will automatically provision this user account, and I suggest we call it Quickemu with a password yet to be determined. It won't be tested in this occasion. What does Ventoy do? I've no idea. Does Ventoy automate Windows installs, or does it just present every option to you? Because the other option is we remove all of the automation, which I also think is a not very good user experience. One of the reasons we added all of that automation is it automatically installs all of the drivers into Windows that you need to fully optimize the Windows VM. So all of the GL drivers and the VirtIO drivers are all automatically provisioned, and the disk partitioning is all automatically taken care of. And consequently, it means you can stand up a VM of Windows in double quick time. Yeah, so I know what Ventoy is, Mandy. What I'm asking is, if it just puts Windows ISO on a USB stick, fine. That's not the issue. The issue is, does it entirely automate the install of Windows once it's up and running? Yeah, and we've done the same thing. So Mandy's saying, and it has plugins to install Windows on unsupported hardware, and I do the same thing. So although Quickemu does as best as it can to do secure boot and TPM and all of that stuff, I also jam into the registry of the newly provisioned machines all of the tweaks to say just ignore that stuff in order to ensure that stuff works. So no. So I Am Jones is saying, but that Quickemu is a user, is a single Microsoft account. No, it will be a local account. So it won't be an online account. It will be a local account that gets created each time a VM is created. So it won't be an online account. It won't be a shared online account. It will be local to that VM when that VM is initiated. Yeah. If you're asking the question, there must be a reason why I hadn't been clear before. But yeah, that's the point. Right. So I think I've got my answer. So I think that's what we'll work on. Probably that's what we'll do on Monday. I think that's Monday's stream, right? We'll bang out this release now, and then on Monday we'll work on actually fixing this issue, or attempting to fix this issue, by creating, yes, Mandy, a local account. Create a local account each time the machine is provisioned. Now I realized there were some people here who hadn't seen Quickemu before, so let's actually just go and do a quick look at what it is. So the first thing you can do with Quickemu, oh, there's another new feature, by the way. This was a great contribution. Somebody added the contribution, which is these config files. This is our config file for our Windows 11 VM, which hasn't been created yet. They added this. Put shebang Quickemu --VM in there, and then make it executable. So now you can just execute the config files for the VMs, and that will boot and run the VM. I thought that was flipping brilliant idea. So that's something. So what we'll do is we'll create a new VM. So let's do that by running out of the project. So we've got two commands. Quick-get is one. So let's think of a distro. I don't know. Debian. There we go. And I hit return and it tells me what releases I have available to and what editions. So if I say Debian 11.4.0 and we will go with what's going to be small, the XFCE edition. So Quickget will automatically download the ISO for you. So there are tons of distros and variations that Quickget supports. We're probably not going to get through a download in time, but this will download the appropriate ISO and automatically create these VM configuration files for you, and then you can just run the VM. So that's what Quickemu does. It basically makes it so you don't have to know how to create a virtual machine. It has all of that knowledge baked in, and it will create you the most optimized best outcome automatically. So you can just Quickget your distro and then Quickemu your distro. And you know, I'm doing it like an animal here on the terminal. You know, the other option is, if I just bring this up, we could use the rather beautiful Quick GUI from Yannick. So I'm using dark mode and manage existing machines. I'm going to tell it where my machines exist. Here they are in my Quickemu directory. And I'm going to run my Ubuntu Mate machine. So here we go. We're off to the races. So this is, you know, if you want a GUI, here we go. That'll do it for you. And if you just want to be a command line warrior, then you can do that too. So that's the basic tool. It's 2 commands, and in 2 commands, Quickget a distro or an OS. It works with Mac OS and Windows, as we were just discussing, despite the caveats of network accounts and what have you. And in 2 commands, you can provision, and sorry for the noise, bit loud, provision VMs and get up and running. And it accelerates as much of this automatically for you. So it will use the most optimized hardware acceleration that's available on your machine and hooked into whatever the guest operating system is. Right then, so Big Pod is answering questions about why they're doing the online thing. So Big Pod is saying Microsoft's intention is for you to use online account as they tend to be more secure and less likely for people to forget the password for everything else. Yeah, I understand why Microsoft are doing it. My feeling is that the reason that I created Quickemu is, well, initially to stand up lots of Linux distros on a machine really quickly and easily so that I could test a bunch of stuff in a lot of different places. That was the origins of it. And then I kind of got excited and carried away with the idea of, well, let's add Mac OS and Windows in for the lols. And that was good fun, and I learned a load. But all of the bug reports are about Windows and Mac OS, as you can probably imagine. But Josh was just commenting that this looks like a really useful tool. I think, Josh, you're one of the primary target demographics, right? If you want to spark up VMs real fast, real quickly, this is the way to do it. Now, although Quickget can download and configure your VM for you automatically, you don't have to do it that way. You know, all you need is a very simple configuration file and an ISO, and you're off to the races. So we did just have Quickget automatically download, and it's telling us, you know, that we can run this command.
Thank you for the follow, Smoking Gears.
Hello, Smoking Gears. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for the follow. So we can run that command, but actually what we can do, oops, run off the virtual screens. What we can do now is, because we've got this feature which makes these executable, we could run that config file. So let's just take a look at it very quickly. That's all that's in it. So guest OS is Linux, a path to where the disk image reside, and the ISO image that it just downloaded automatically for us. You can tune everything. You can tune CPUs, disk sizes, a whole bunch of stuff. USB pass-through, GPU pass-through, all of that gubbins. By default, that's all you actually need to provide. So if we run this VM now, there we go. You can see it sparking up, and off screen on my main monitor, I'll just drag it down. There it is. Here's our VM. So we'll just go through the process, and if we look, if I just minimize this, if we look here, you can see Quickemu is telling you, about the VM, what it's done. Automatically doing GL and Virtual and connecting up the SPICE ports. It automatically finds a port to do SSH pass through. So if you've got SSH installed in the guest, it will pass that through. It automatically assigns WebDAV and does 9p and SMB and all of that stuff. So you can, as a developer, you can immediately start accessing this VM you've just started up. And, things here, it introspects the host to look at like how many CPUs you've got, how much memory you've got, and it automatically allocates, CPUs, sockets, threads, RAM based on the host hardware availability. So while you can go and tune all of that, for my purposes, it's download a distro, test something, throw it away. It just really quickly means you can churn through stuff. So, or you can create artisanal VMs and tune everything just as you want it to. It's all doable. Yep, everything to, and you can even do USB pass-through. So one of the things I use my Windows VMs for is like these earbuds have got a charging case, and when you plug the charging case into the PC, it's how their firmware updating tool updates the earbuds. So I start up a VM of Windows, pass through that USB ID, and then in the Windows VM, I run their firmware updater and update the firmware for my earbuds or my game controller or whatever it might be. So it's very useful from that point of view. If you've got devices that can only be firmware updated in Windows, then it's a great way to do it. Right then, so that's how Quickemu works. For those of you that have never seen it before, very simple. Quick. It's not just a clever name. And so King Egypt's asking if I could do pass through to my T600. That's on my machine at home. My machine at home is a dual GPU machine now. It's the 6900 is the primary, and I've got a small NVIDIA T600 just for basically NVENC and some very light CUDA workloads. But yes, I could potentially pass that NVIDIA card through to my Windows VMs. Haven't done that yet, but there is a sister project. I need to get that listed actually. There's a sister project that does the GPU pass-through stuff. Right then, so now hopefully those of you that hadn't seen it before have seen it. Hopefully I've answered the questions of what it can do. And what I'm going to do now is we're going to bump out a new release, and now I know that we've got consensus.
Thank you for the follow, Nate Lift 151.
Hello Nate, welcome to the stream. Now I know we've got consensus on how to solve a problem like Windows. We'll do that. We'll try and fix that issue and really bury it for good this time on Monday. But for now, we'll bump out a new release because there's a whole slew of fixes that we really need to get out there. Hey Joey Bites, welcome. How you doing? Right then, let's switch back to, let's think. We probably want to go to the code editor first. And we're not working on this anymore. We're going to need to, whoops, I'm on the wrong virtual screen again. So, and this is in Quickemu. Oops, I can't type that off me apparently. Let's see. Match case. There we go. This is going to be 3.16. That was OBS crashing. Right. I'm pretty sure that that was just an OBS crash. No, nothing as exciting as the thermal shutdowns we had during the hot spell. No, that was just... It's really peculiar when it does that, because it even switches a scene to a really unusual scene. In I don't know why, but anyway, such is life. It happens. It's a thing we need to live with, apparently. So I've forgotten what I was up to. Let's head back here. We were doing this. We just bumped this version, and we're going to push that with Git Kraken. So, has anyone released the Kraken today? I don't know if we've seen that. Who's got enough channel points to release the Kraken? So there's that bump there. This change I'm not going to push up, because this is some changes that we'll come back to on Monday. There it is. There's the Kraken. Thank you, Big Pod. Well done. So, and also that's my rather cheekily mentioned in the chat there. That's my referral code. So it's only a pitch in as much as I really love Git Kraken. I think it's a fantastic bit of software. So let's bump the version to 3.16 and push that, and we will... I did the wrong thing. Let's go back to here and get a new release done, because there was a lot of stuff added by a lot of people. And we're just going to say, give me everything that people worked on. And look at all of this. Look, just heaps of it. Fantastic. Thank you everyone who got involved in that. Let's get that one published. That's done. Good. So I think now some of these changes were monumental as well. Really good. Some of it was just, up to, managing the list of stuff. But there we go. A new release finally. And I think what I need to do now is remember how I push out a new version. So let's go to Quickemu. I don't have this packaging here, so it must exist in development. Debian, no. Peace World. Not there. I see. It's been such a long time I can't even remember where I keep my Debian packages. Is it in here? Yes, it is. So, Quickemu, Debian. Have I gone too deep? Yes, I have. I want to be here. Okay, that's one. So, let's just take a look. This should hopefully be 3.1. Head. We want to do head. Oh. Well, now I'm very confused. I wonder where I'm maintaining that package, because if I come back, where have I put that? Okay, so if I come back and look in my PPA, let's have a little look here. We've got the Quickemu PPA, and we look at the various versions. Yeah, we can see we've got 3.15. So where did I... Is it in the Quickemu project maybe? So it's not there. Ah, here it is. Right then, that'll be why. So Quickemu, here we go. Now we're in business. We found it. Oh. I've got several levels deep. Okay, so that's the changelog. This should be 315. Okay, cool. DC. I didn't need to do that here. Let's just get this bumped. Get install pizza. Yeah, very good. Right then, let's bump out a new version of this. This is going to be... We'll do this for each of the releases, which is going to be... We'll start with vocal and we'll work our way up. I think that will do the business. Why didn't that update? Don't save. There we go. Okay. And the Kraken's back. So Ferric. Very good. Yes, Takov, I am aware that we have got far more viewers today. I think we can say thanks to Grim for that raid earlier, and a large community of like-minded people. So for those of you that are first-time viewers and new here, thank you all for stopping by and welcome. I hope that you'll be back. I stream Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. Had a couple of days off this week because it was a busy week and needed to do preparation for some other stuff. But got a full schedule lined up for next week. So we will now bump out all of these releases.
Thank you for the follow, Josh Strobel.
Oh, cheers, Josh. Right then. Let's build a source package and get on with it.
Thank you for the follow, like a jellyfish.
Like a jellyfish. Brilliant. Mandy, it's my pleasure. I'm going to be doing this stuff anyway. Well, thank you, Javier. Welcome, welcome. What have I got wrong here? Oh, I haven't brought down the new version of the tarball. There we go. Let's do that. In fact, let's do this in the big screen here, because a bit easier to see what's going on here. Packaging, right? Right, so we'll now build this one, which is for focal. We'll just very quickly edit the changelog. We will not do impish because that's EOL. So, no, in fact, impish might still work. So we won't do... No, let's get this right. We need to do jammy and kinetic, and impish may work. Impish may work. It might get rejected, but we'll give it a go. So we'll do impish, jammy, and this is probably already updated in the AUR. And we'll do kinetic, which is going to be it's not right, is it? Kinetic. Let's build that one, and then we'll deput each of those to PPA, my account, and Quickemu. We will then take these and do kinetic, and then this is going to be jammy, and then we do what we got next. Did we say we'll try impish? This could get rejected. It's very close to EOL. That's the 2110 release of Ubuntu, and then of course focal, which is the prior LTS. So those are all pushed up. We'll let those build, and hopefully that was so that's an interesting point that Yannick raises here. Let me explain my my thing. So hello, LN Media, welcome to the stream. How you doing? So Yannick makes this observation here that I don't bother building for Kinetic just yet. As soon as the new release opens, I start building my projects for it, and that's because at some point Kinetic is going to become a released thing. I'm getting notifications on my watch that those things are building in PPAs. So I start building for the next release as soon as possible, because eventually when that becomes released, I know that whatever the last stable release of something I put out was, it is in that PPA ready for that version to consume. So Big Pod's been working on talks for conferences. Yeah, that's brilliant. Yep, I'm very well, thank you, LM Media. Very well indeed. It's been a good morning. We've ploughed through quite a bit of stuff here. Two new releases in one stream. That's fantastic going. I'm very happy about that. So we'll just head back to this PPA and we'll just see how these are baking. See if they actually build successfully. So it looks like, looking at this, we can see kinetic and jammy, but not impish. So it looks like impish is now indeed closed, and that got booted. So that's fine. You know, that's the way it goes. So these are off and building now. Technically, we could, I suppose, use a similar technique to deb-get, because deb-get can install Quickemu as well, and Quickui for that matter. But we could do this via our GitHub releases page, but as we have this as an established place for people to come and get this stuff, we'll leave it alone. It's quite a popular project. So yeah, I build for the new releases as soon as I can. I think that's the safest option. There's Yannick's amazing Quick GUI, which I wholeheartedly get. So if you want to install this stuff and you're on Ubuntu or Debian, no, Ubuntu, you have to be on Ubuntu for this, then I've already got this installed, but we can deb-get install Quickemu and Quick GUI, just like so, and that will get you the two things. Now I have them both installed, so this won't do anything. Well, it will actually try and re-enable the PPA, but nothing's going to change yet because those packages are not built, and that just told you in fact that Quickemu is up to date, and it will probably tell you the same. There we go, Quick GUI is up to date. But we could do a deb-get update, because we released a new version of deb-get earlier. So let's do a deb-get update. And we should see that deb-get sees that the new version of itself is available, just like that in fact. So we'll do a deb-get upgrade and we'll get that new version of deb-get, what we put out about an hour ago. So there we go. We'll do an upgrade now. That will run through. Ooh, no we won't. Stop, 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 stop. What's all of this? The following have been kept back. Watch how Martin almost did. That's significant. So I did this the other day. I did an upgrade during the stream, and what I didn't spot, or I did spot but it didn't sink in, it was upgrading Qt underneath like everything, and of course OBS runs on top of Qt, and OBS crashed that day, and when I looked back it crashed because I yanked Qt from beneath it and installed a new version, which was very foolish. So actually what we'll do is, this was something I was discussing with Yannick, because I know that just deb-get is available, I'll just do that, deb-get, reinstall deb-get, and then I don't have to do a full system upgrade in order to do that. So Big Pod said earlier, does anyone use Tailscale? And I said yes, I do. So let's just explain what Tailscale is. Tailscale is a VPN, but it's not like Surfshark or something like that. This is a VPN you can use to interconnect your own machines, and they could be your computer at home and your computer at work, for example, or it could be all of your VPSs and your laptop. It could be your laptop that is out roaming around that you can VPN into from anywhere. So Tailscale sits on top of WireGuard, sits on top of WireGuard. And where I'm sat right now, this is a shared office space. So I rent this office, but the network that I'm on is shared. We all are isolated from one another. So I have one Ethernet drop and I can't see anyone else on the network. So here's why Tailscale is brilliant. You can deb-get install Tailscale, and then you can do things like this. So I am here. I am going to SSH to Ripper. This is my machine at home. And what's important to know is I have no firewall rules or network address translation or port address translation running on my firewalls at home. So this enables me to connect into that machine at home. Now I'm going to go back the other way. I'm going to SSH to Trooper, which is the machine that I'm using here right now. So I'm going back the other way. This machine is behind a firewall I have no control over whatsoever, but I'm able to SSH from home into here. So it doesn't matter where your machines are, you can SSH into them. It's absolutely fantastic. Yep, you can do it with WireGuard, but this sets everything up for you. Zero configuration. It's great. And Ike Van Holt, welcome to the stream. They ask, oh gosh, where's your message? Sorry, I've lost it in the. Ah, my word. Where's it? Oh, annoyingly, I can't. Oh, here we go. There we go. Here it is. So they say, why would you pay for a service like this when there's OpenVPN? Mostly because OpenVPN requires that I open ports up on my firewall at home, and I can't use OpenVPN here. There is no way I can connect to this machine here because I've got no control over the network infrastructure whatsoever. So what this enables me to do is have a connection from home to here, where sometimes I run long-running jobs and things, or leave some work projects running, and off I go. Is Tailscale open source? I don't recall. I don't think it is. I think it sits on top of WireGuard, but I don't think it's open source. And I'm using this free tier here. So one user, me. It says it can support 20 devices. I think I've currently got 3. And I am using this magic DNS. That's how I'm able to reference machines by name. Each machine has its own IP and it has its own DNS configuration in the background. But this is not the only solution. There are open source solutions that are effectively the same idea. Zero VPN configuration that sit on top of WireGuard. I forget their names. I'm sure somebody in chat will know the names of those other tools. I can't remember. this is what I found fairly recently, and it, in air quotes, just works, and it's been fabulous for me. Yes, Nebula, Big Pod. Nebula is one of them, and there's a couple of others as well, but I don't recall the names. So let's go and look it up. Let's go and look up Nebula as we're here. Somebody was looking for an open source solution, Nebula VPN. Here we go. So here we go. If you want something like Tailscale and you want it to be open source, then take a look at Nebula. I haven't used it, but I have heard good things. So there we go. There's something to look at. But what this enables me to do is do away with open ports, firewall, VPN configurations. I haven't done this yet, but what I'm thinking of doing is putting this on my wife and daughter's laptops, so that when I'm away, if they have any problems, without having to do any messing around on firewalls and routers on the home Wi-Fi and stuff like that, I can just SSH directly into their laptops and fix any issues that they might have. So, I'm not affiliated with them. I'm just a happy user. And Big Pod was asking questions about Tailscale, and I've been very happy with it. So there you go. And there's Nebula, and there's some others as well. If you hunt around, there are open source solutions. Okay, this is good. Those 3 packages have all built, so they'll be published soon. So we've seen no failures there. And Ike Van Holt, I'm here from Discord. Well, hello and welcome, and thank you for the kind words. You're running Mate 124. So what distro are you using that on? Slightly older release, I think. Okay, so I think we've covered off Tailscale. Thanks for asking. Oh, you're running Ubuntu Mate. What? Well, welcome. What version are you using? And so we've put out a couple of new releases. That's good stuff. So let's just take a little look forward to Diogo. Very good. And this is the Chelsea Cucumber, which is of course inspired by the Ubuntu Mate color scheme. So on Monday, we have agreed now that we'll try and fix that provisioning Windows VMs issue in Quickemu. So we'll go with that local account solution. We'll see if it works. I actually don't know, never tested it. I've got an idea of what needs doing. Let's see if it works. And if it doesn't, then we'll have to have a good hard think about where we go next. Maybe just trying to think. Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll hope that works, and if it doesn't, we'll have to go hunting for another solution. Hello, Caffeinated Linux. How you doing, Tyler? Good to see you again. I must be running long if you're here. So Monday, it's definitely what we're going to be looking at. We'll be messing around with Windows and Quickemu and trying to get that install fully fixed and automated again. Maybe we'll have a peek at the macOS support. There are some of the people complaining about macOS. It seems to be the macOS bit that's misbehaving. Ah, so Ica, you're on Focal. Well, welcome. Not upgraded to Jammy yet. So we'll look at that on Monday, and then we got Wednesday and Thursday. So I probably need to take a... In fact, I'll tell you what I do need to do. There's been a few point releases of Mate packages in the last week or so. So I think what I'll do, one of the things I've been meaning to get to is doing some work for Debian Mate. So the Debian team want the Mate spin of Debian to be as close to Ubuntu Mate as possible. So I think what I'll do is I'll rev the new packages, get those in Debian and Ubuntu, and then we'll start that work of unifying that experience, the Mate experience, on Debian and Ubuntu Mate. So I think we'll do Quickemu on Monday, and then we'll do two streams at least of landing the Ubuntu Mate experience in Debian. And yes, that's going to be with Uru, King Egypt. The Uru packages have already been submitted to Debian, so all of that's there. So we'll be using the, in fact, I can show this. What we'll do is the Uru themes have a number of accent colors, one of which is conveniently Debian red. So we'll make these, one of these, the default theme in the Debian version of Mate, as opposed to the Chelsea Cucumber versions which we use in Ubuntu Mate. So yeah, we'll. I think that's it. I think that's the week planned. And maybe I'll have a couple of little updates along the way there about Chimera, because my daughter will be back from Scout Camp, so we will be actually using and playing games on that, and I'm looking for some other small ways to contribute to that project. So if I find time to squeak in a couple of contributions to ChimeraOS, then I'll cover those off as well. So yeah, and then I mean that could take a few streams to cover out that work in Debian. We'll see how we go, and then after the Mate stuff, I think it might be time to circle back to Retro Home and some Raspberry Pi stuff. Takov's been doing some excellent research in the background on where we can go next with Retro Home. And incidentally, I mentioned a crowdfunder that I was following as part of my, I'm not buying a Steam Deck, but I'm going to use the money to invest into other devices. So I did manage to get in on the early bird for this Lyra console. So I'm not logged in here, but I've got in on the super early bird here. So a discount for this. It's not going to be released until March next year. So this should give us plenty of time to get Retro Home in a good place and get things like Steam Link working in Retro Home, and create, for want of a better description, a launcher for Retro Home, so you can choose to go into the retro emulation front end or launch Steam Link, or if it's available, launch the desktop mode, or add, as some people have suggested, other services and capabilities like Xbox Pass, or whatever it's called, and Stadia. Is anyone still using Stadia? I've just cancelled my Stadia subscription, and GeForce Now, things like that. So hopefully we'll get Retro Home to a good place to be able to sit on a device like this. And in fact, now this is all up and running, I may contact this team and say, hey, look, I'm working on this thing. Can you give me any early access to sort of hardware specifications and GPIO information if I need any, or driver information, so that I can start adapting Retro Home so it's ready to go on day of launch. Xbox Game Pass, that's the thing I'm thinking of. Yeah, I haven't tried it yet. I've heard good things. McPhail, who's not here today, he's only had good things to say about that particular. He's obviously a Linux user, and he uses it to access you know, current games on Linux via, you know, the streaming service. And yeah, so you know, he's sort of what's the sort of a budget gamer, and so he hasn't got hardware that can run like all the latest stuff, but he uses Xbox Pass to get a window into that world. Right, okay. Let's see what's going on this morning. There's a few people here that are doing interesting things. Let's head over here. It's been a while, so I think I've got that set up accordingly. Yeah, I have. Right, let's do this. So, I hope everyone's clued up for a good weekend. I hope you have a fabulous weekend, everybody. And more importantly, I do hope you'll be back here next week to see what fun and games we get up to here. Thank you so much for the new viewers and the raiders today and everyone that stopped by. I really appreciate that. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Have a fabulous weekend. We're going to head over to White Panther. It's been a few weeks since we've been over there. So thank you, everyone. I'll hope to see you soon. Bye-bye for now.